We have a very special video today because I'm going to be showing you guys what I think are the best cards to be flipping right now in MLB The Show 23. I just think this is probably the best flipping strategy in the game currently. Obviously, things can change at any time, but what I'm about to show you guys, you can make probably up to like 75,000 stubs an hour, but you will need to follow a few steps in order to do this flipping right, and I'm going to cover all of that here very shortly. And if you guys want more videos just like this one, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos. But let's get into this strategy. So the flipping strategy that I'm going to talk about, basically what it is flipping these 99 overalls. And right now I can show you guys which 99s I would be looking to flip. And then later on in the video, I will go into a little more details, well actually a lot more details about what exactly you should be doing to maximize your stubs. And even though I'm showing you guys how to do this on my console, I actually suggest using the companion app to flip because it's just much more convenient and I think just a lot easier to use. So I know that some of you guys watching the video maybe have flipped a little bit before, others maybe you guys are brand new to it, or maybe some of you have been flipping for years. So I'm hoping to make this video helpful for all of you guys, no matter how much experience you have with flipping. So I just want to start off very quickly by going off like a couple basic things when it comes to flipping. So the first thing just being, you want it when you're going to the card you want to flip, you always want to be creating buy and sell orders. So first you need to start off with the buy order, right? And what you want to do is basically type in, like for this one here, one more or however, just a few more than what the sell now price is, right? So 22,708 is the sell now price. So I'm going to type in 22,711, for example, right there. And then someone will quick sell their card. The order will go through and that'll be my card. And then when it's your card, basically what you want to do is create the sell order and just undercut whatever the buy now price is. So $27.99 right there because the buy now price is $28,000. That'll be the top order. And then whenever someone buys that card, just a buy now order or buy now transaction, then that sell order will go through and that card will sell and those stubs will be mine, right? So that's pretty much the basics as far as flipping goes. And then now I want to go into like what you want to be looking for when you're flipping, like which 99 overalls should you be flipping. And the key here is you want big differentials between the buy now price and the sell now price, right? Like big margins here, like this one is a great example. You got 15,000 difference between the buy now price and the sell now price for this 99 overall Ryan Sandberg, right? So basically what you want to do is put in that buy order for, I put in 58,025 and then create that sell order once that buy order goes through and you own that card for like 73,550. Perfect. So just undercutting that buy now price, so then your order is at the very top of that list and that card will sell. And notice when I type in the sell order that it says seller will receive and then list an amount. And that is because when you're typing in the sell order, you're not actually going to receive all of the stubs that you put in because there is a 10% sales tax for every sale on the marketplace. So take 10% off of what you sell it for, and that's the amount of stubs you're going to get. So that's important to keep in mind too when you're flipping. This Jose Altuve, another good card to flip. That's a 19, basically 20,000 difference margin there between the buy now price and the sell now price. So that, if those orders go through, you're going to be making, like 12,000 stubs, right? Because for 80,000, 10% off 80,000 is going to be like 8,000 off of that, 20,000 differential there. So likely you're going to be making 12,000 profit off of that flip right there. So another good card. And then there's actually a lot of set one cards in here that have pretty good differentials. This Flying Dutchman card, pretty good. 6,500 difference between buy and sell now price. That's really good, especially since the tax will be, 2,800. So, you do the math right there. That's a lot of profit right there. But this one, for example, not a good card to flip, right? Because you're buying it, let's say, for 15,000 and you sell it and make 16,000. 1,000 stubs really isn't worth it if you're trying to really flip that card. That's just not worth it, right? Where it's much more worth trying to flip the cards that have thousands and thousands of profit potential. And let's go back actually to my completed orders, because here's some examples of cards I flip. So Big Maple right here, an incognito card I bought for 17.2. Sold it for 23.9. That's 6,700 in profit off of that flip. Sold them a few more times right here. About 6,000 off of those other flips. So, 6,000-7,000 every time off of those flips. That's a really good card to flip. Those orders were going through fairly quickly as well. Here's an absurd example with Ryan Howard here. Bought him for 50,000 and sold him for 70. So I made like literally 20,000 off of that flip. That's never really gonna happen. That's kind of absurd. And look at the Rhino, Ryan Sandberg incognito card. I made 8,000 off of that flip. I made 13,000 off of this first one. So just a ridiculous amount. You guys kind of get the deal here. And the thing with 99 overalls that I'm noticing is a lot of them, or some of them, don't have buy and sell orders that go through maybe as often as other cards, lower overall cards, and also the sets matter, right? So set 1 Devin Williams right here, orders aren't going to go through very quickly because people just aren't buying and selling set 1 cards as often as they're buying and selling set 2 and set 3 cards. So some of these cards might be a little more tedious to flip, but make sure you are sticking to the set 2 and 3 cards. And it might take, just on average, longer to flip some of these good set 2 and 3 99 overall cards, but when you're flipping the cards, like when you actually complete them, you're just going to be making a ton of stubs, probably on average like 6,000-7,000 per flip ideally, but some might be more like 4,000 or 5,000, right? And you might get up to 10,000, 12,000 per flip if you get lucky. So so just be aware, it is a little more tedious to flip some of these cards, but it's going to be worth it when some of these flips go through. But now I want to go a little bit further into some of these details. I gave you guys a few already, but for what I normally do, and this is the flipping method I've been using for the last few days, and I think these are super important to keep in mind. So first of all, in order to maximize your stubs, basically what you want to be doing is you want to have like 150,000 stubs to use for this flipping method. And I say this because what I do and what I think is the smartest way to approach this is to have buy orders in for multiple cards at the same time, right? Because if you think about it, if you have buy orders in for like 6 or 7 different cards at the same time, you almost certainly will have a buy order or two go through and on a card. Whereas if you're just trying to flip 1, maybe even 2 cards at a time, you likely are just going to have people, upping your buy order, and you're basically just going to have to sit there and tediously keep one-upping their order, right? Whereas, again, if you have 6, 7, 8 cards in for buy orders, some of them are just going to go through, and then you can focus on putting in the sell orders for the ones that go through, and then, go back to the ones that didn't sell and maybe put in another buy order, something like that. And when you're putting in these buy orders, another important thing to keep in mind is make sure you guys are monitoring your buy orders, right? So, you put a few in. Go back to those buy orders. Make sure your buy order's at the very top so then it goes through first, right? And if someone jumps your buy order, right, by a few stubs, then go ahead, put another one in to be at the top of the line. So yours goes in first. And that's just another good reason to use the app, because you want to be on your phone, like wherever you are, rather than just sitting on your console, having to monitor these buy orders and everything. So highly recommend the app once again. And yes, this can be tedious, but at the end of the day, you're going to be making a lot of stubs. And let's just say you're putting in buy orders and people are constantly, for 5, 10, 15 minutes, constantly putting in higher buy orders, and you're just sick of it. Okay, just move on to the next card and try to get those buy orders to go through. You don't have to be super stubborn with which cards you flip, because there's so many different options. Just see what works well for you. See how quickly orders are going through on different cards, like this Big Maple card right here. Good. This one was going through really quickly for me the other day, and it was, pretty good margin right there, 9,000. And like I mentioned earlier, I would definitely focus on the set 2 and 3 cards for flipping rather than the set 1 cards, because what I'm noticing for the most part is that set 2 and 3 cards have orders go through much quicker than set 1 cards. Because again, set 1 cards, people just aren't really buying and selling right now because those are out of the rotation to use. So the set 2 and 3 cards will go through much quicker, which just making your life a lot easier to flip. So highly recommend flipping those rather than set 1 cards. Also, there is a best time to flip cards too, when buy and sell orders will be going through the quickest because the market is most active. And that's from around like 4 to 8 p.m. Just because if you think about it, like people are getting off work, done for the day, and just are settling down and wanting to play some MLB. So just the market's most active then. And that's when, if I'm going to flip cards, that's when I would definitely do it. Rather than, if you're flipping early in the morning, you might just be sitting around waiting for orders to go through longer than what you'd have to. So around 4 to 8 p.m. is definitely the ideal time to be flipping. And lastly, I just want to go over a few cards that I've had success flipping over the last few days. Starting off with, I mentioned this one earlier, the Big Maple James Paxton card right here. The margins on this card have been amazing. They actually just bumped up to 17.5 right there, but even that's a 7,000 difference between buy and sell prices. Obviously, you'd want to put in that buy order for like 17,501, right? To get that to go through, and then put in that sell order, and you're making like 5,000 off that flip. Not too bad right there. And then some others. So I mentioned the Ryan Howard. He's actually set 1 card, so you could try it out, but he is a set 1 card. Orders are not going to go through super quickly. That Ryan Sandberg Incognito card's been really good for me as well. I've also flipped, I'm trying to think, a couple, like the Flying Dutchman card, that's a good one. This Brandon Crawford one is good too. I was getting frustrated yesterday trying to flip him. The margins are really good, but so many people were putting in buy orders that I was trying to flip them for like 15 minutes and I couldn't get an order to go through. So that one's frustrating. Gave up on him, went to some of these others, but you guys kind of get the deal. So just look for good margins like the Ryan Howard 12,000 differential right there. That's a pretty good margin. So I hope everything in this video was clear, but again, basically what you want to do is put in a bunch of buy orders for these 99 overalls that have big margins. Then once those orders go through, put in the sell orders. And while you're waiting, make sure to monitor the orders so yours are at the top and go through as quickly as possible. And you'll be on your way to making a lot of stubs. I hope you guys did enjoy the video, but that's pretty much it for this one. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment those down below. But I do appreciate you guys for sticking around to the end and watching. See you guys next time. Peace.